So the thing with Golden State was, what were they going to do at number two? And like they could have traded the pick to try to swing somebody over to get some help for Steph and Clay with Draymond and like take a real punch at a championship. They could go Wiseman to kind of like build the bridge, fill a need. They need a big guy. We talked about the value of bigs and how that's increasingly important now, or starting to trend back in that direction. But Klay Thompson goes down, and that takes a lot off the table. That takes any Andrew Wiggins trade to me off the table. It just they couldn't move number two. They ended up having to use it for Wiseman. I know LaMelo Ball was a thought. Apparently he impressed in Golden State, but with Klay going down, you just need to shore things up. So I guess my question to you is, looking at what they had to do, and we know now that it's the Achilles with Klay. I've seen a lot of, if Steph is the guy who we think he is, he should still have this team in the playoffs and competing and challenging. And I'm looking at that roster
this morning. I just
yeah.
arguing with Felix and him about that.
Yeah, I just like it's not the same. Like I get it, you know what I mean? Like I saw like obviously LeBron's name came up, but LeBron never carried a team to me. Like who's their second best player? Is it Wiggins? And if it is,
No,
what
it's
can
Draymond.
what
It's
is Drake?
Draymond though. Like not from a talent perspective.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean? It's got to
yeah,
be.
it's Draymond. So it's just like, what could we
Who's-
reasonably expect from them this season?
I mean, bro, I feel like again, we're still in this like bubble, post bubble, COVID era thing. So to me, I mean, the Lakers ended up winning. I think like I had this theory on the bubble that either a team like the Nuggets or the
Yeah,
Celtics, or like a team that's good, but like maybe you may not have necessarily expected to win it all. Either
yeah,
that was going to happen, or the Lakers were just going to win because LeBron and AD in that like pickup setting, when you have the two biggest guys who are also the most skilled,
yeah.
sometimes
It's
just
too much.
the
Yeah,
talented guys just went out because that bubble atmosphere just seemed like so much pickup to me. So the Lakers ended up winning. But I think that still applies until things go back to normal, whatever that looks like for NBA basketball, for teams like the Warriors or any other team, that if you can put together, like, so look at who the Lakers played in the finals. Miami made it to the finals, again, a good team. They probably could have made it to the finals if things were normal still, but like again, conventional wisdom said Milwaukee, right?
yeah.
Like,
Nobody was picking them.
and no
Nobody.
one was
Yeah,
really on the Miami train to be like, they're going to the finals.
yeah, yeah,
Some people who are Miami, covering Miami, and Miami fans probably felt that way, but the masses weren't saying that. So my point is, I think with Steph Curry healthy, and I'm on that side of people where I'm like, look, which look, he's the best shooter ever. We know who he is, but it is a time for him to kind of prove, almost like go into a James Harden mode, right? Like he's got to
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
into that mode. I feel like wasn't he kind of doing that before he got hurt?
I mean,
Before?
he was doing that in the finals. Like he was putting up 40-point games and things like that. And there, Steph gets a knock for always having had to play with elite talent. So he hasn't had to show what he's going to have to show this season. But I think he certainly was good enough at his peak, to do it if he had to. I mean, the way he was, like 2016 was ridiculous. But this is the first season we're really going to have to see that. And he's older now, so like I just don't know, are they a top five team? Like they're not top three team. Like I think, we like the Lakers better. I think we like maybe the Mavericks better. Teams like that. But are they top five? Or are they going to be fighting for the bottom?
I mean,
The Nuggets are better than them.
There's no reason why they shouldn't be in the mix, in my opinion. When you look at like now, they might be in the. I mean, Phoenix is now in the kind of dangerous category where
Yeah.
like, look, they're a sleeper. It's like they're going to be a playoff contender. So, I mean, we expect Dallas to kind of be at a spot where they're kind of ahead. So, like, I mean, for me, I'm still Lakers, Clippers.
Right.
I mean,
Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets. Right.
it's right. I mean, so you're looking at like your 3 or 4 teams. Rockets have obviously, they're probably going to take a dip or whatever. So there's
Yeah.
really still a spot for them. You still have Steph, you still have Draymond. Those are your pillars. Like it
Yeah.
sucks that Klay went down. Like it really sucks. It really does. But you still have, like what I was saying about before, the team was like more athletic. They looked like you have less shooting. Of course, one of your two Splash Brothers goes down. You're going to have less shooting. The Kelly Oubre move was a great move because Kelly Oubre can shoot. He's a shot maker, right?
Yep.
Green's not necessarily a shot maker. Andrew Wiggins not necessarily a shot maker. Guys that can hit shots sometimes, but they're not known as consistent shot makers.
Yeah.
But playmaking, passing, athleticism, those are things like what made Golden State so dangerous in 2015 is that they literally had everything. Shooting, size, athleticism, playmaking, decision making, they had everything. Bench play. Like they had Leandro Barbosa, bro. Like how do you prepare for that? You just have guys that you're able to throw in and can hoop and know the system and can score and play make. Like it was too much, right? Now, like, you know, and then they got into like the super team phase, you know, they had the stars and it was like, okay, it doesn't matter who else is on the team.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever. Now it's a new phase. It's interesting. Steph and Draymond are the pillar with Klay down, obviously, of course, but you know, those two as the pillars, you kind of just have to rely on, you know, the athleticism. You still have your athleticism. You still have some things. I think they're gonna get deep again. I think they're gonna try to build up the strength in numbers thing again. You know, a little bit younger, so that those things can work to their advantage. I think still.
It's just gonna be interesting to see what they do because, like you said, like there's still enough offensive talent there. Like Andrew Wiggins, you know, for all people say about him, is a proven 20-point per game scorer in this league, and they really feel the pressing need with James Wiseman. And I'm not saying he's going to come in and be a star, but like he should at least be viable. And again, that's very important for them going forward if Klay never returns to form the way he's supposed to. I just wonder what Steve Kerr is going to do. Obviously, they're going to have to run some different actions than what they've been running. But they're more athletic this year than they were last year, the last couple of years actually, and you know they're bigger now that they have Wiseman. So. I mean, we'll see what they do.
I covered Wiseman at the McDonald's All-American game last year. That was my first and only time seeing him play in person.
Yeah.
I have not seen a big in a while in person at that age, that young. Like seeing a big, he's left-handed.
Yeah.
Skill wise, I think I know he's worked with my guys down in Miami Hoop School. Skill wise, I think he has that ability to you know to make plays out of the post. And like if he is going to be a big, that Golden State kind of like, look at Andrew Bogut, look at the bigs that they actually did use when it wasn't like all small ball and they could actually throw a big in there to do something. That year in 2015 when they had those depth of bigs, they had Bogut, Spates, Ezeli, and David Lee.
Oh yeah, they did.
They were just funneling bigs, different skill sets.
Was David West there that year too?
No, David West, I think they brought him in
after.
Read up on those skilled bigs. That was another one they brought in.
Yeah.
2015 year, that's what blew my mind. Everyone was talking about the shooting and stuff. I was like, yo, every big they put in, it wasn't just like a body. It was like
a baller.
It's hitting the stretch three. Bogut is killing you with splices, top of the key passing, right?
Yeah.
He used to average like 20 and 10.
He's a certified bucket.
So a big in the Warrior system has to bring a certain amount of skill in order for that. And I feel like Wiseman
has
that kind of thing where and they tune him in and they show him the reads and he picks up the speed and the timing and stuff. He could be a real advantage for them.
Favorite for Rookie of the Year?
Do I have a favorite for Rookie of the Year? I don't know if I have a favorite. I think LaMelo. I love LaMelo in Charlotte. I think that's going to be kind of fun.
It's going to be showtime.
Mike's just going to let him go. I feel like why not?
Okay.
LeVar and Mike too? Are people talking about that yet? Like,
now he might have to actually play Mike one-on-one or whatever. Yeah, I've seen a couple memes out there.
Please. Oh my God. Yeah. But nah, I think LaMelo is gonna have the green light there. Yeah, I mean, not to just go with. I mean, I think he would be most people's favorites, but
yeah, I just don't know what to make of Anthony Edwards. I know there's a lot of negative media out there about him, talking about how much he really loves the game and X, Y, and Z, things like that. But we'll see. I mean,
all I know is that kid is a monster. That kid can go.
he's like 230 something and got a 40-inch vertical and stuff. Like we haven't seen a shooting guard come out with that body type in a long, long time. I mean, he's getting D Wade and Oladipo comparisons. I mean, so we'll see. But like all what I will say is that I've heard a lot of it's like when D Wade came in, like he was really competing. He made an instant impact on that Miami Heat team. And there's questions about if Anthony Edwards really brings it every night. But it's hard to tell in college. So you find out more in the pros. But
Yeah.
going to Minnesota, a place that Jimmy Butler, you know, who's a fan and staple of like hard work and things like that, going there, I just wonder what that culture is going to be like because they had another guy who was listed as indifferent by all accounts in Andrew Wiggins, and that didn't work out. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to change kind of what they do up there in Minnesota.